this research, this year we are exploring the Sainthood heritage centered on Bajasong of Buiba, and we are also going to actually explore our commercial heritage centered on Lumo, at the same time our archaeological heritage centered on Stone Circle in Wassu. Ngajeko nata jeko Afrika mo fi banko la jama o jama ale moldi la min yalan ko ya ala la ko ala le sembo min di la yo sembo tamandi ka hadama dum won nafala o mol min yalan ko ikata champion walti wo kol kono ka hadama dum ma ko ke bonde al halo doto ke samba hadama dum al halo doto ba jaso mo mol kono mo kilinati ay nyama tol jaran ke moy molla ay nyama to jamal jara nyim banko kan ay kuranto jamal jara jang woto kamala alawo do ku nyima ma fontandi o molla mol nyinatala so wala tinna nata jang ninke bale pour ninke bale aninga dimbala na molu ni sa nyomoy so ngaje ko wala nata londi bungo karan ningol fe jang se baja sona ko janjani no marora la le rabbe rala rala umaro rala le rabbe rala le rabbe jason na ko alala mo kende balem jaso e kawo bele moy hani kuno nalo na ko mara safo kuno ko ten nin falo ko mara safo falo ko ten nin so ko mara safo ni sikara ko ten ngafo jan no tolta jine sawo no jaso en tol pacha ko wasayna alansaro ni fitro tem nkaay bari so ku tele ko akonya ko nanin so be so kono ay kibaro dina jine bisa ko amemi bi nyanko mo fana be so kono jang wono fana ko imam konto ko dina ko wata le say bawo be on le fe kibaro dina ko man do moro dunya da fe wala hajjara dula la be jang jaso mo kende balati jaso ngalo mbake bari kono tole mo sansoro jang nsartam pamala kayen kasam bari ndoma kombo kono Gambia jang kula ko silolem mbata je nata jason tara soma jang wala soma ko la sey o jason tara je sanji woro ngasino la kaye mbeje da sarala ngaye ko mbeta pilitan ko je pilitan ko ha ko je maka ko bebe je ha ngaye fuare ale min tara pilitan fuare be bolale ko je kare konondo kulungo be balajan kulungo wala kala papa la silbo le Gambia jang ntata wala Freetown be lola Freetown alibata makai ani share receiving be kilola ay makao membo nga wajele filisa bambe baton kono kilo banda ntata Freetown je 1968 ngada mon kese clean 359 grad nasamba Brussels million tan nane ani lulu to babo ay moto badi na kabo Japan wala kala boss float Gambia nata ngakolo yimbe sama na Gambia jam ayanta kombo akonye nima yimbe di mo chima ako million tan na limbe ka wali mola ako ni adi mo le chima ni ma di mo chima ngadi mo la nka ambulo ko le da suto nim pano ka rangola ka ke dolaro be jandra sinan ko parlo ngabe di kampala ngafi jam ku murtaje dala salariyo ngada mo doku anin sano 7 kilo gold kilo wala sanu ngo anin diamond yemuta yanza mbasele ya bebushina ya kwenyenga bempo wala nata jang bulikense molka je mulen karle bunyende ngolo bande buloka ikamanele ko ngata jang akonje sane be ko solla alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ya song da pembale woni nyante ma sanji tanani be wala kono bi ay membe fonye digo motan sama mo lulu be sanji keme sanji tangani lulu ala ko baga bam fala ala le yaso mo ma karande ala dab ma de wadiya
from the independence up to now, in the stone circle that we have in the Gambia, depending on the archaeological evidence and that of carbon dating, the only period confirmed has been the only period we depend to confirm that this site was established in the prehistoric time, or 1,000 years ago, when man was using stone as a means to carry out his activities on earth, where they actually established within the framework of polity or political civilization that they might have established a kingdom. If the archaeology can establish that royal families members were buried here, we must confirm the location of those kingdoms, geographically or geopolitics of that. It could be a place where they have their oracles. It could be a place of their shrine, a worshiping place, where every year they need to sacrifice. This could be a place where they do. It could be the abode of their spirits. This could be that. Because these traditional people are always in link with the traditional shrines or spirits. So these are all evidence that we need to establish through historicization. But evidence on archaeology that they were here on the time, it has already been established. But going beyond that, it's left to us and our commitment to establish that. So that's why you need to understand, as far as I am concerned, this is beyond thousands of years. This could be in link with the period when Ethiopia was at its height and when ancient Egypt was also there. And when Sudan, where most of these people were there.
It is very important for university students to embark on a field visit and a research tour to understand some of the issues that were underlying or that are embedded in our historical facts, and also to try to contrast what we learn in the class and what we can observe on the ground. So in just at Buiba, we understand that as Africans, we have our own religious sense, and these sense have been given mighty powers, spiritually, and they have done a lot of things, a lot of development as to our political, social, and cultural aspect of our life. But unfortunately, history doesn't surface. History doesn't show us or unravel some of these important issues in our life. So therefore, university students as future leaders, leaders of today and tomorrow, we want to understand some of these facts so that when we are drawing our policies, we can understand and we can incorporate some of the realities we met on the ground. Because learning does not stop at the confinement of the classroom, but you need to go out of the classroom to observe and to see things naturally. So it is very much significant because it will also change our thought from what we learned in European history and what we are also able to hear first-hand information from the son of the great man, Jasog Touray. So it is very much important for university students to go and learn, to go and do their own observation so they can also do an analyzation to be able to have a very clear picture of their ancient people. Because you understand that Africans were very much organized politically, socially, and culturally. But unfortunately, the history that we found on the books, so many books of European writers, that Africans were not civilized, the part of African civilization was also incorporated as a result of their contacts with the European. But the reality is that Africans were very much civilized before the coming of European people.
Most of the time, we within the Congo areas, it is very difficult for us to come over here. So this is a question that helps us to explore the Gambia more. And first thing, talking about Jasog Touray, the time we went to Buiba, I was so amazed to find out that this Gambia is having great people that we don't know about. Because most of the time, when we even look into our history, we'll be talking about other peoples, we are not even related to us. But when you look at Jasog Touray from the historical part of it, he's a great man that can prophesy things, a person that can help in healing people. So those are great people that should be well known in our societies. And these are people that, like most of our important places, should be named after because they should never be forgotten. And today, too, coming to this Wassu, I am so amazed because this is my first time of coming here. Looking at the great things, the stones, the historical places in the museum, it was very nice. And like looking into those days when our great peoples were buried with their most valuable things. it's just a sign of prestige. Not like these days when you die, you leave everything behind and that's it. But for them, they will use that, bury you with that, whether it is a weapon, gold, any necessary things that have a relationship with you will be buried with you. So I am really glad to come here, and I wish when we go back, we'll be able to disseminate this information, the likes of Jasog Touray, the Stone Circle, the important people within the Gambia, and let history float to the higher high.
This expedition is a very, very important mission for all university students, because if you look at the great Jasog Touray and also this Wassu Stone Circle, these are sacred places we've learned in school at the junior level, at the senior level. So as a university student, I think it's very, very important and timely as student of the university to go and meet sites and dig into the history of the Gambia, to have first-hand information with the people who have, like example, in Jasog Touray's compound. We've seen a man who has lived with Jasog Touray. The man now is about 115 years. So he was able to tell us some of the miracles that Jasog Touray has done during his time. So this expedition has exposed the students, and it serves as first-hand information to university students of the Gambia. Today, in this site today in Wassu here, I think for me, this is the first time I'm visiting this place. So it's a very historical place, and it should be preserved. And I think this expedition will help a lot. It will help us to dig into history, because we understand that there are many things that are unraveled. But when we continue to expedite this, to engage in this kind of expedition, we'll learn a lot as students.
If you have your animals, you bring them here, travel all the way from different places and come. There are special individuals here who are believed to be the middlemen. And the middlemen will always take those animals from the rightful owners, attach their price, and sell it. That's why most of the time price controls in Lumo is difficult. So we'll proceed to the cattle, where you will also observe different species of cattle. Always the Ndama cattle are Gambian-based ones. But you will also learn to realize that not only the Ndama cattle, the ones with the long horn, the tall ones, are the types that I was stressing that they were imported in the country. And these people will come. We can see the Lumo or the Daral is well structured and fenced. But if you go to Sarabojo, it is not in that form. Sarabojo is compacted to an extent that the community, when we met the area council, we suggest to them, why not you try to realize that to find out a special market for the livestock where will be shifted to another community, whereas those communities will also develop in terms of Lumo activities.
Yeah, boy, patat binyata la? 25. Dina jël bi de nga dina la ko fay li ba ngi ni. We have been hearing about the Lumo since our primary school level, reading it from the book, but we didn't actually know what the Lumo is. So this visit is very important because it will take us to the four corners of the Lumo to know what is in it and how the Lumo goes about. Yesterday we met the committee. They told us lots of things about the Lumo, how they manage the Lumo, the rules and regulation, and also the means of sustaining the Lumo. Okay, today we see that there are a lot of commodities, a lot of people from different regions meeting here to exchange goods and services. And if you look at the pricing also, we see that the price is cheaper here than what we normally see in the combos, because I bought a broom for $25, which is sold in the combos for $60, which is very expensive. And this Lumo is very important because it serves people as their source of livelihood. You see women, young men, adults coming to earn their living in this Lumo.
Definitely, I have learned a lot to be part of the socio-historical fact-finders in the Gambia here. I have learned a lot because since yesterday we visited different areas. We were at Lumo, and we met with the Lumo community, And this Lumo community, they told us their functions and roles that they play within the Lumo. And actually, I also knew about the structures, the existence, as well as the functionalities of the Lumo. Because I made to understand, or perhaps in history, most people believe that our contact with the outside world, the two forces that actually African countries came into contact with those people. For example, the Arabs who conquered North Africa towards the Sahara Desert, and also the Europeans who came through the Atlantic Ocean. People have this mentality and imagination that those were the people, as a result of the contact, Africans were able to be civilized. You understand? That is to say that their civilization began from that contact. But here, we need to understand that in our own context, our commercial viability has been within the internal framework. The creativity and the innovation of the African people have led to them to the creation of the internal mobilization that led to the existence of some of the markets or the Lumos that we have.
I've learned a lot in this Lumo. Since yesterday, we have been educated by the people of the community concerning this Lumo, saying that many people gathered here from different areas. Some even from Senegal do come here, and different people from the upper river division all gathered here to witness this day. They bring different varieties of food, different types of commodity to be sold here. We have been taken to different places where they are selling cattle, you have vegetable, you have different things, you have bed, these local beds are made here. When you compare them in the combos, here is better. The Lumo is far better.